Welcome to our one-on-one with Less the Sports Guy here on YouTube and online all the time at lessthesportsguy.com. Lots to get to this week. I will jump right into it, and also I'm introducing a new segment to you this week. I'll tease that for you in just a moment, and also we've got the Do You Remember segment, as you always love to see what flashbacks I'm going to go back to every single week, and also a feel-good story of the week towards the end of the show this time on YouTube, one-on-one with yours truly, Wes the Sports Guy. Jumping right into it, the Stanley Cup Finals and the NBA Finals are over with. The Stanley Cup Finals have the Washington Capitals winning in 5 games in victorious fashion. I did not see that happening. As you might remember, I predicted the Vegas Golden Knights to win it in 6 games, but Washington ended up coming out on top in 5, a lot sooner than I expected the series to be over with, and plus also in a different result. But credit to the Washington Capitals. They played great hockey, and this was the right time to do it. And I wouldn't say they struggled in the Stanley Cup playoffs for the most part, but they did get off to a very sluggish start, you might say, being down 2-0 to the Columbus Blue Jackets when the playoffs started. But they turned that around really quickly, won 4 straight to knock out Columbus, and they took out the defending champion Pittsburgh Penguins. And then in the Eastern Conference Finals, they took care of the Tampa Bay Lightning in 7 games to do that, and they were down 3-2 in that series, and they came back to beat them in 7, including Game 7 winning in Tampa Bay on their home ice. Where you look at the NBA Finals, the Golden State Warriors took care of business rather quickly. It was 4 games, a straight sweep of the Cleveland Cavaliers, 4 straight years in a row, and the Warriors have come out on top 3 out of the 4 times against the Cavaliers. And, of course, everybody's asking the question, where and what is LeBron James going to do now that the season is over, and in kind of disastrous fashion, you could say, for the Cavaliers. But I look at it this way. The Cavs made it to the finals. The way this team was running the entire season, I'm still surprised that they did make the finals the way they did, but, you know, to each his own. And credit goes to the Golden State Warriors. You can knock the way that the team was put together with adding Kevin Durant here in the last 2 years to basically win 2 straight NBA championships the way they did in dominant fashion for the most part. But winning a championship is all that matters in every professional sport, and even going down to the little leagues. It's all that matters. And credit goes to the Warriors. They were the better team, hands down. When you watch those games, other than Game 1, that should have probably gone to the Cavaliers. Looking at it back, and you can replay the tape over and over again, it should have been the Cavs game. But after that, the series is pretty much over. The Warriors just dominated in Game 2. They got a little bit of a scare in Game 3, but then they took care of business in Game 4. It wasn't even worth watching the fourth quarter. I got to the third, and the fourth quarter was basically it. And no point watching the rest of it. So congratulations to the Warriors and Washington Capitals. They're going to be celebrating, and there's the theme with the hat here. Super Bowl champion 49ers. Can it happen again? Maybe. I'm not going too crazy this year, but everybody's got a chance in the NFL, and that's what makes the NFL so popular. Moving into the news segment I'm going to introduce you to. It is a rapid-fire type of segment, but it's got a different ring to it, and name, you might say, as well. Heading into the Ring of Fire, it is Brian Colangelo, the former executive of the Toronto Raptors, and also now the Philadelphia 76ers. His namesake has been for the building the Phoenix Suns teams when Mike D'Antoni was the head coach, when they had Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, Sean Marion, a bunch of other different names as well. But he's more responsible for what has been happening with the Philadelphia 76ers the past couple of years. He has resigned because of some fake Twitter accounts that were associated with his wife, and apparently the way he went into defending his wife was essentially saying that in no way he discussed any team personnel information with his wife, but then again, it seems like she got wind of it somehow, and his quotes about his marriage going forward with his wife are a bit dubious to say, because that's not how I would think marriages would work. But again, to each his own. Brian Colangelo is out as the executive for the Philadelphia 76ers. Quick hit on that. Terrell Owens, who has been finally inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame a few months ago, just before the Super Bowl, he has decided he's not going to attend the Hall of Fame ceremony. And honestly, I don't care. Everybody's a bit upset about that, and I could care less. It's his choice. He was given a great honor. He accepted it rather gracefully in TO's standards, but he doesn't want to show up. So what? Yeah, it's a bit unprecedented. It's never happened before, but to each his own. I mean, the writers are all up in arms. Some of them, I should say, are up in arms. Not all, but I'm sure a good majority of them behind the scenes personally are a bit ticked off with TO. Surprise! That's who he is. He likes to just do things differently. That's his MO his entire career, especially when he came to prominence with yours truly, the San Francisco 49ers. It happens. He's not the first. He's not going to be the last one to probably do this either. Well, he is the first, but he won't be the last one to do it. I'm sure others will follow in line going forward. Just, it's not for everybody. It doesn't shock me. Let it go. It's not personal. You made it kind of personal when you kept him out of the Hall of Fame for as long as you did. So, hey, he returned the favor. Last firing here on the Ring of Fire segment with yours truly, one-on-one with What's the Sports Guy on YouTube. Shohei Ohtani of the LA Angels has headed to the DL. He has a grade 2 sprain in his UCL of his pitching arm, which is not good. It's not a full torn ligament, thankfully, but this information was disclosed to the team before they signed him, and it also got leaked after the fact as sort of a red flag for any team that shouldn't have signed him, like to basically say, hey, no, you better not do it. This is not the right guy for you. But again, that's just a smokescreen. But the Angels knew about it. Everybody knew about it when they were courting him to try to get him to sign with them. And hopefully it's not anything too serious. But again, I've seen this happen with a few players, not just with the Angels, but others as well that have gotten stem cell therapy. He's already gotten it before. He's getting it again now with this new strain to the ligament in his elbow. Hopefully it's not going to last very long, and he can come back and wow us with his two-way play of not only hitting, but pitching is just off the charts. And if you haven't seen him play this year, I implore you to at least watch the highlights now, because he's going to be gone for about a month. But regardless to say, it is a bit troubling, but hoping for the best. Hopefully it's not going to be anything long-term, but if it ends up being, they're going to play very, very cautious with him going forward, as they should. Time for the segment that makes you wonder what was going through your mind when J.R. Smith was dribbling the ball to run out the clock in the fourth quarter. Do you remember?
You remember?
Do you remember back when Barack Obama was president and the Boston Bruins of the National Hockey League won the Stanley Cup, and they had their star goaltender say publicly why he wasn't visiting the White House at the time? Well, I'm just going to fill you in real quickly. Basically, Tim Thomas said that he didn't want to go to the White House with his team to visit the White House when Barack Obama was president because he did not agree with his political viewpoints at the time with what Barack Obama was doing while in office. There was a huge firestorm. Apparently, nobody liked that fact that Tim Thomas didn't want to go to the White House because Barack Obama was in office for a simple reason of, I disagree with his politics. He took a stand. Had nothing to do with anything personal. It's just, I don't think he's doing a great job. I just didn't care to go to the White House. Now, if another president had been in the White House instead, I'm sure probably Tim Thomas would have gone, depending on the political viewpoints of that president. But looking at it nowadays with what's going on with Donald Trump and certain athletes in various sports not wanting to go to the White House, and then Trump deciding, I'm not going to even invite you to the White House, it's a bit childish to look at the way things have come now when it just comes to visiting the White House for winning a championship. It's one of the stupidest things you could do via a sports team and via a sitting president to invite the championship team to the White House. Yes, I said it's a stupid thing. I am a sports guy, and I don't really care for this. No matter who's in office. It is a photo op. It is a nice thing for people that didn't go to the White House at any point in their life. It's a great experience. I'm not taking that away from you. But this is very childish now that we've made this into a political sticking point in this country right now. Politics and sports separate. Do not mingle. This is getting ridiculous. And they're both acting like third graders. The president and the athletes. Owners, commissioners, whoever's commenting on this. Enough. I'm sick and tired of this crap. You want to visit the White House? Good. You don't want to invite them to the White House? Fine. Just stop it. The back and forth, we're going to make fun of this person and say that. We're going to say this person's doing that. It's all crap. You're attacking them for something that they didn't do, and then you're attacking him for something that he truly believes. That's his opinion, but he's not going out of his way to overtly punish you against anything that the Constitution protects you for. Relax. It's just a White House visit. If he doesn't want to invite you, he doesn't have to invite you. If you don't want to go, you don't have to go. Simple as that. End this. It's over with. It's a stupid thing. We shouldn't have to talk about this anymore. But I'm pointing out hypocrisy right now in this segment because we want to attack Tim Thomas for doing what he did. But the player's doing it now. Oh, it's perfectly fine. It's the same thing. Same thing. I honestly don't care either side, but you're acting like third graders right now. And it's stupid. So stupid. Time for the feel-good story of the week, and this comes from Country Time Lemonade. I know, shameless plug. I'm not getting paid for this, but it's a shameless plug, and it's well worth it because they are doing a Twitter campaign right now where if you retweet their most recent tweet when it comes to kids starting up lemonade stands, apparently, and I'm not kidding, this is actually happening in this country. I don't know why, but all over the country, some kids have been slapped with fines and cease and desist orders for putting up lemonade stands. Yes, lemonade stands of all things. Now, most of these are being brought up to either help out a friend in need, help out the homeless, whatever the case may be, but it's all for a good cause. These kids are doing something that's helping other people, and it's a great story, no matter what they do. Even if it wasn't for a great cause, they're learning how this whole capitalistic system works, and it's a great thing. You want to encourage that. You don't want to shut it down when they're 6, 7 years old. It's ridiculous. But Country Time Lemonade is starting a campaign that's going to basically pay off any fines and permit fees that come along with any child in a certain age range. I think it's from 6 to 14 at the oldest, but you can go on their Twitter page, Country Time Lemonade, and check it out there. Also retweet it because every retweet of their original tweet for this posting is going to be going, attributing money going towards this fund to pay off any permit fees and fines that may attribute to this. But maybe this is a good campaign to actually say to people, hey, let's use some common sense and let kids run lemonade stands worry-free. It's a stupid thing that it should come to this, but I love Country Time Lemonade for doing it. It's a great cause. So get behind them and go for it. And as we head into another weekend here in June, leave you with a quick message from Alex Ovechkin on what you should do going into the weekend.
Get some beers, get some whatever, and start celebrating. We're the Stanley Cup champions. Washington Capitals, baby! Woo!
Yeah, exactly, Alex. I'm going to have some beers, have a good weekend. And I will see you next time here on YouTube and at westthesportsguy.com. I will mention that if you want to see any more of the recaps of the Stanley Cup and NBA Finals, you can go to westthesportsguy.com and check it out there as well. I will see you next time.